done, as you can see by my little idle worker button right there. And also this SCV has completed production of the refinery, which will allow me to start acquiring some Vespene gas, which is needed for the advanced structures and units in Starcraft 2 for all 3 of the races. So, very important to get these going as soon as possible, especially if you plan on going for a higher tier unit earlier in the game, so you don't want to get bottlenecked by having a whole bunch of minerals and not so much gas. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell this SCV to build this other building that we were looking at earlier, the engineering bay. Just going to plop that down right here. While that builds, I am going to go ahead and cover the basics of the barracks here. You'll see that there are 4 units lined up that the barracks is capable of building. However, it is currently only capable of building 1 unit, and that is the Marine. General purpose infantry, this is kind of the bread and butter for the Terran infantry group. They are able to shoot both land and air units. They start out with the ability to do 6 damage per shot. They are ranged, as you would expect, and there are various upgrades for the Marines that allow them to definitely have a spot as the game progresses in your army composition. So I'm going to go ahead and send this SCV over here for now and get him out of the way. We'll talk about him in a second. This is the Marine. He just finished building. This is definitely a Marine, or definitely a unit that you will likely end up building a lot of because they are very versatile. I mean, they can shoot land, they can shoot air, they've got a lot of upgrades. They have the stim pack upgrade from Starcraft 1. So that is the Marine. Oh, it is a light unit, so keep that in mind. It is classified as a light armored unit. So I'm going to go ahead and select this barracks here. And you'll notice that these 3 units here are grayed out, like I mentioned a minute ago. The barracks does have the ability to build a tech lab and a reactor. This is new functionality present in StarCraft 2 for the Terran race. This tech lab enables the production, as you can read here, of the Marauders, the Reapers, and the Ghosts. This right here is the Marauder, kind of the heavy assault infantry, as the tooltip says. This is the Reaper. It's kind of a hit-and-run unit meant for mineral line harassment, and just kind of they really excel at killing light units, such as the Marines. And this is the Ghost. Pretty much the same thing from StarCraft 1, except it does have the Snipe ability, which does a whole boatload of damage for only 25 energy. So definitely worth it versus light units. To access these, we will need to build the tech lab. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click this, and you'll see that the tech lab did drop down immediately to the right of the barracks. The tech lab will always build in this position, relation to the barracks that you are building it from. It'll always be to the right. So you can see that it is building right now. So we do have another barracks right here, and wow, that actually built really quick. Good times. I'm going to go ahead and select this other barracks right here, and you see there is another building that we can add on to this barracks called the reactor. It allows 2 units to be created simultaneously. We're going to go ahead and drop that down right now. The thing to note about the reactor is that you cannot have access to the Marauder, the Reaper, and the Ghost while this reactor is connected to the barracks. It is only able to produce Marines. However, you will be able to produce 2 Marines at a time. So if you build 3 or 4 barracks and throw down a whole bunch of reactors, you will be able to make Marines like crazy. Good times. So for now, I am going to go ahead and check out the barracks here, which my tech lab is now attached to. You'll see that I do have the ability to make the Marauders and the Reapers. For now, though, you will see that I am supply locked at 18 out of 19, so this is definitely this will show you the importance of making sure you keep up on the supply depot building, as you do not want to be sitting here in a game waiting for your SCV to build this depot, and you're losing precious time which you could be making units. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just build a Reaper here just to go ahead and get that going. We'll talk about that guy in just a minute here, as this SCV does finish up this depot. You'll see that now I do have the reactor complete on the second barracks. I'll go ahead and put down 2 Marines, and you'll see they do build side by side. And any more units that I put into the queue, you'll see as I fill that up, what'll happen is the queue will just immediately dump into the next 2 slots once these 2 Marines are done. I'll go ahead and set a rally point for these barracks right here. Something to note: when you do have a whole bunch of production facilities, you can double-click them and set 1 rally point for all of them. So if I had 10 barracks on my screen here, I could double click one, select all of them at once, and then right click out, and all the barracks will rally to that location. So, we do have the Tech Lab, like I mentioned earlier. It does contain the upgrades for the Terran infantry units. This right here is the Combat Shield upgrade. It gives Marines plus 10 to life. Definitely helps extend their functionality as the game progresses. Going to go ahead and get that going, as well as the Stim Pack. That's kind of the iconic unit from, or ability from StarCraft 1. It does increase the movement speed and attack speed of the Marines. Going to go ahead and get that as well. It also does affect the Marauders, so definitely a good upgrade to get as early as possible. This is an upgrade for the Marauders, one of the new units in StarCraft 2. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and build those real quick. And whoops, supply blocked again. See, this is a good thing that I'm showing you the importance of why you should not let yourself get supply blocked. I hope you definitely learned from this tutorial video. If nothing else, don't let yourself get supply blocked. So hopefully you will see these failures and you will learn from it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this pretty much just all these upgrades going. This last one that I did here, I'll explain that before I put it. It increases the movement speed of the Reapers, which I have one built up here, and I'll go over that in just a minute. For now, I do have the Marauder building. This building, or this unit right here, is called the Reaper. This is the light kind of hit and run unit that I discussed a few minutes ago. It does have the ability to scale cliffs. You'll see it goes up and down. It is only able to scale one level of cliffs at a time, so you'll see that it jumps up right here and goes down, because there's, see, I can show you here, there is only kind of one level increase. However, if the cliff was basically double the size that it is now, it would not be able to jump that. So keep that in mind when you are using these Reapers, as you will need to make sure you do have an acceptable path for these Reapers. So what you'll generally see with these things, you won't see them too often late into the game. However, very early, you don't be surprised if you're playing a Terran opponent and you see a Reaper or two back here in your mineral line attacking your SCVs, as they will generally 2 or 3 shot them. Really got to watch out for that. Why do I have so many SCVs building that? Well, I am failing this. You can probably tell that I haven't had much sleep today, as I am doing this tutorial, hopefully to get this out as soon as I can, so that way all 3 race tutorials are up before the release of StarCraft 2. So anyways, the Reaper, like I said, good hit and run unit, can scale cliffs, very good versus light units such as Marines, Zerglings. Oh, it's great at making Zerglings explode in fiery balls of death. Yeah, they're also pretty good versus Zealots as well. Zealots do have a lot more health, so they can take a good beating, but still, nonetheless, Reapers are very, very good at kiting Zealots. So, I'm going to go ahead and continue to put supply depots down here. And I do have a Marauder finally completed. This is another one of the new units in StarCraft 2 for the Terran race. It is kind of their heavy assault unit for the infantry class. It is able to do extra damage versus armored units. As you can see, it does 20 damage versus armored units. That's something that a lot of new players will probably get confused on, as they did make the damage indicators a little bit more complex in StarCraft 2. When it says damage and then versus armored, that means by default this unit will do 10 damage to an enemy, and versus armored armor, for lack of a better term, this will do 20 damage. So it's not additive. It won't do 30, it'll just do 20. So I'm going to go ahead and send this guy right over here. He does have sort of a grenade launcher type attack here, as you can see. He has one grenade launcher on each arm. So it looks like the stim upgrade is complete. I'll just go ahead and show you real quick here what happens when they use that. You'll see it does have that little lightning. So if you're ever playing a Terran opponent and you see that little lightning appear over the infantry, you will know that they have used the stim upgrade.